Hi, everyone. Thanks so much for listening. It's not often that you and I will come to a crossroad and have to make the decision between truth and transparency or sitting quietly by watching illegal activity by our government. But that sadly is exactly what our guest today had to do. And thank goodness she chose truth and transparency. But because she did, she has suffered massive repercussions. Tina Peters, the former Mesa County clerk in Colorado, Gold Star mother and cancer survivor, has told her whole story in her documentary called Selection Code, along with an exclusive interview for the Capital Times magazine. And you can grab this off Amazon. It's a phenomenal article. She joins us today to share her story about how she's fought back against the weaponization of the very government that is meant to serve and protect us. Speaking of government weaponization, there's a lot of talk about this childhood pneumonia that's spreading all across China. It reminds me of 3 years ago, right? A year before the election, this outbreak was happening in China. The good news is that we know what pneumonia is and it is treatable. So Dr. McCullough recommends going to the wellness company and having medications on hand. They have an emergency medical kit along with a COVID kit, and it has early intervention medications that we can take should we need them. So go to the wellness company. It's twc.health/mission, and you can order the emergency medical kit, the COVID kit, and any of the other supplements there. That's twc.health/mission. You can be wise, be prepared, and you're also helping the Moms on a Mission podcast. This isn't free, obviously, so if you purchase anything from there, that surely supports our show as well, and we would be so grateful. Also, if you download the Rumble app, we would be so honored if you followed us. So you download the app, and at the top, there's a search bar, and you can type in Moms on a Mission, and then click the follow icon, and then you'll be notified when new episodes are released, and we would be so grateful. Hi, Tina. Thank you so much for joining the Moms on a Mission podcast today.
Thank you so much for having me. I appreciate this. Is the mainstream media now, you know.
It is. It really is. Thank God for it. Well, tell us what your life was like prior to 2020.
Okay. Well, I was a business owner for 32 years, actually, and decided in 2016 to start walking in support of Donald Trump, because I said we cannot let that woman get into office. And everybody knows who I'm talking about when I say that. And I just fell in love with the people, decided I wanted to give back, decided to run for office, picked the toughest office that there is, which was the Mesa County Clerk and Recorder's Office that is in charge and oversight of 5 divisions. That's recording, clerk to the Board of County Commissioners and Board of Equalization. When you don't agree with your taxes, that comes to me as an impartial. I hire judges and such to do that, and motor vehicle and elections and accounting. So that's a big job in the county. And I actually started the job before I was even elected. My goal in running for that office was to reduce the 3.5-hour wait times that people were suffering through. I mean, there was a waiting room before you got to the waiting room. It was horrendous, and to change the face of government. And I won, which angered the cabal. They had already selected their candidate, and I've paid for it ever since. They made my life a living hell. I kept persevering through it. You know, when you're a cancer survivor, I had cancer in 2016, and I said, God, you know, I'm okay. I'm okay with leaving this earth, but you know what my prayer is? Don't let me leave this earth until I've accomplished everything that you sent me here to do. Never expecting that I would, my life would turn into what it's turned into. So in 2017, a month before I won the primary election for my office, my son was tragically killed. He was a Navy SEAL. And you can see some of his pictures in the background there.
Yes, I'm so sorry.
Afghanistan, and a letter from President Trump. And it was devastating, to say the least. But God taught me a lesson in that. He taught me how to compartmentalize, which has really saved me going through all this. A month later, I won the election. I didn't have a an opponent. So in November of 2018, I was sworn into office. And interestingly enough, I did all the things I said I was going to do. I opened up 2 new offices, was able to give the clerks a raise. They were making $14.65 an hour. I said, no
Wow.
one can live with that. It takes 2 years to learn any of those jobs in that office because they're very highly regulated. And I did all that within budget. Go figure, in a government office, staying within budget.
That's new.
So that was how I started out. I just really wanted to give back, wanted to make a difference. And it wasn't the 2020 election. A lot of people think that, and I've been called an election denier, an election conspiracy theorist, and all that stuff. I thought I did a great election. I really did. The problem is you don't know once you put your ballot in those black boxes what happens to them. And now I do. So in 2020, I felt like we did a great election. Donald Trump won in our county. I thought, well, maybe there are things going on in other states. It appeared to be, but not in my county, right? And that's what I tell people when I travel. I say, if you're living in a small county and you think that nothing's going on behind the scenes that you don't know about, that's what I thought too. It was the 2021 municipal election where people that didn't even campaign, that came out of nowhere, won against hardworking, well-loved candidates that were so visible. The people loved them. The turnout was big. And when I pulled the results that night, I said, this didn't happen. This is not. And couple that with the constituents. So everybody out there listening to this, I want to let you know how much your voice matters. Here I was, an elected official, believed that all of our processes were what they call the gold standard here in Colorado. And I would take people on tours of the office. Well, the Secretary of State, and there were a lot of things that happened that was the nexus for what happened next. The constituents were coming to me and they were asking me, they were saying, well, there's anomalies. We're walking door to door. There's people that say 10 people didn't vote here, just those 2, or, just things like that. And I said, just bring them, we'll check them out. And the other thing is Dominion and the Secretary of State were coming in to do what they called a trusted build. And they had done one in 2019 after I'd been elected. I didn't think anything about it. I thought it was a software upgrade. I wanted to have the public in, the press in, to see, the elections department, how proud we were of it and all that. And they started getting really shady. They started restricting access. They started threatening that if they got there and there were people there that weren't approved, that they would turn around and walk out, and I would have to ship my equipment to them. And I thought, and pay for it. I am not going to let this equipment that I'm the trustee over out of my sight. And so I commissioned someone to come in, and they had told me they were going to delete election records, namely a QR code program that would have made it impossible for me to do an audit should one have been asked for by the citizens, which is their right. And they said they were going to delete it. And I thought, well, how would we read those ballots if we can't read the QR code that's on them, if the program was deleted? So I sought to preserve it. We did I went to the county. They wouldn't help me, to the IT department. I talked to multiple. I tried multiple avenues. Finally,
what was their reason? What was their reason for not helping you? Because they did tell you that it was going to be wiped out. I mean, as the county clerk, this is your constitutional legal requirement to preserve these. And I believe it's isn't it 25 months in a municipal election?
In Colorado. In the state of Colorado, it's 25 months to preserve election records. And then federally, it's 22 months. And this was 6 months after, and 1 month after the municipal election. So that's what, and then and
the IT just said they couldn't do it. They didn't have time, or it wasn't their responsibility.
That's right. They said they've never dealt with the election machines. They didn't want to. I just want them to oversight it, And here's the issue with the forensic image that we took was it's perfectly legal. It's acceptable in court. It doesn't change any of the settings on the election management system. It's like a snapshot. So if you imagine a snapshot, you take a before and an after snapshot. So that's what we did. Totally legal. It was so legal that the Secretary of State decided to go to the legislature and make it illegal after the fact, and also outlawed audits. She called them fraudits. So this is what we're dealing with.
Wow. So corrupt.
Yeah. So now I was able to tell my story recently for people that want to, and I can share my screen if you want to see it, but people that want to go to my website, it's tinapeters.us, and there's a magazine. Actually, I was just going through it because I'm getting ready to do an interview for.
I have
you got it
too. Yeah, Capital
think?
Times. I absolutely loved this article. I cannot tell you how great it was, just because it truly tells all of the story and helps everyone understand that this is lawfare at its worst, and that Americans are being attacked for standing up for the truth. And when you rose your hand and you took that oath, Tina, and you swore to uphold the Constitution in your role as county clerk in Mesa County, I mean, that is your word before God and before man. And here they were trying to wipe out these machines. And what you did was you protected your oath that you swore to the people of Colorado and to the state of Colorado. And I am just so surprised. So you got these screenshots before and after, and then what happened after that?
Well, and I would encourage everyone to go on my website, Tina Peters. It's just my name.us for the United States. And all three reports are there. So you can read the executive summaries. You don't need to be an egghead, super smart cyber guy. Thank you. Yeah. And you can watch the movie Selection Code.
Yeah. Selection Code. I watched that twice and it is so good.
Yeah.
And where are those reports? Oh, reports and filings on your website here.
Now, so the reports on there, it's Mesa County Report number 1, 2, and 3. But right there, stop right there. Okay. You can download and read the most recent court filings. So what we've done is, because the persecution, the prosecution, they have an indictment against me for 7 felonies and 3 misdemeanors. They've already found me guilty of 2 misdemeanors, which I did not do. They said I recorded a court proceeding that was public for my chief deputy, and we've been able to, with chain of custody, show that there was never anything recorded on that iPad. But you'll see in the magazine, I thought they broke my wrist. They were the search warrant. They came and got the iPad in a Gestapo type way. But this injunction here, this is suing Merrick Garland, Jenna Griswold, Secretary of State, and the DA of Mesa County for violating my First and 14th Amendment. So those would be really good for people to go on and read. Because I see that happening all over the country right now. And then if you go down, you can download the reports, the forensic report number 1. Forensic report number 1 that I brought to, so after the knowledge came out that I had made a forensic image, they meaning the Secretary of State, Merrick Garland, everybody went crazy. They should have just stayed really quiet.
Yeah,
and
that would have been wise.
But yeah, sweep it under the rug. But they made a huge splash. So I was protected. Actually, my hotel room, I was taken away, had 24/7 armed security after my hotel room was forcibly broken into. And when in September, 17th, I came back to Mesa County after they had been up to quite a bit, and you'll read in the magazine. I came back with forensic report number 1. Forensic report number 1 talks about how they deleted 29. They, meaning the people that were in my office that day, the Secretary of State's people, and under the guidance of Dominion, I guess, deleted 29,000 election records. Now, these aren't just benign things. I mean, even we were taught that even if there was a piece of paper on the floor at a voting service polling center, we had to pick it up and put it in a box marked trash and save it for 25 months. So these 29,000 election records in this forensic report are audit files, access files that say who went in and out of the system, what activities they performed, and adjudication files. So that's what's in number 1. Number 2 reveals there were 36 wireless devices. Now, according to the law back then, these were supposed to be in a standalone fashion. This equipment not being able to be accessed by the internet or have the capability to be accessed by the internet. And I was actually at the Capitol. I'm standing in front of the Capitol in that picture, but I was at the Capitol about a year ago trying to argue for them to take the wireless devices out of the equipment, out of voting machines. And
it's illegal. I mean, isn't that illegal?
This liberal delegation that of selected people that were on there in that legislature, actually eating their burritos, woman crying from Brazil saying, please, please, please don't let happen in my country what happened here. A lady from Venezuela showing what her country looked like before, now what it looks like because of the voting machines. So that, and they ruled to keep them in there. Forensic report number 3. So I took these 2 reports to the commissioners and the DA, and the DA by law should have gone into to investigate Jena Griswold, right?
Yeah.
For deleting 29,000 election records for all these crimes that I exposed. But instead, who did they go after?
You.
They went after me.
Mm-hmm.
And Jena Griswold actually put out, I believe it's 10 pages, and I think it's in it's either in the magazine or on the website, basically threatening me if I did to recant, repudiate, and recall what I said on Facebook Live, that these machines need to be more transparent to the people and not be able to do what they're designed to do. And there was a laundry list of other things that she was demanding. And when I wouldn't sign that, she went to a judge here in Mesa County, and Judge Robeson, and the judge kicked me out of office. You can't do that to an elected official. The only way you can remove an elected official is by a recall by the people who elected them. It has to be a certain percentage of that voted in that election. So this injunction is meant to stop the persecution, stop the prosecution of me, an innocent person, because it violates my First Amendment right to redress our government and to bring, anomalies like this to the attention of law enforcement, and my 14th Amendment. So that's what's going on. I mean, it's incredible. But, as long as we can shine the light on these criminals, and that's what we're doing right now.
I wanted to point out the fact that, and the Selection Code documentary touches on this, but the images after you did the before and after, they are supposed to have some type of identification code or a hashtag associated with them. And it was not there. It was there before, but it was not there afterwards. So, I mean, it's pretty clear what happened.
you're going to hear a lot more about that, because here's the thing. When I took the second report to Janet Rowland, who is the commissioner here in Grand Junction, and the one that said while they were postponing a commissioner's hearing that me and some supporters were there to speak out about, so they could go get a search warrant because they saw that iPad in my purse. And while they're doing that, she leans down and says, and we got her on the hot mic because we're dealing with people that can cyber experts that can find all kinds of stuff. And she covers the mic and she says she won't want to come back here after this, meaning they're getting ready to accost me. And the other one, Cody Davis, who is the other commissioner here in Mesa County, he said sacrificial lamb, like that. He called me a sacrificial lamb. We have the timestamps of when the search warrant was signed. We have everything. They delayed it for 22 minutes so that my predecessor, who was vile, who actually was campaigning for me to be recalled after I became elected because her girl didn't get in, went and got this search warrant. They followed me from that commissioner's hearing to a coffee shop with 5 other constituents and handcuffed me. There was a search warrant, not an arrest warrant, and then charged me, found me guilty with obstructing a peace officer and or obstruction of a government operation and lying to a judge. I told the judge when he asked me, he said, the DA jumped up in the middle of this proceeding I was in the audience for. And the DA jumps up, goes to the judge, she's recording, this proceeding. And it's on live, it's on WebEx and being recorded for everybody.
Everybody can see it.
Everybody can see it. People in their offices, whatever, they could have recorded themselves. The judge stops. Now, this is the judge that's over my criminal trial in February 7th. The judge stops the proceeding and says, "Were you recording?" And I said, No, Your Honor, this is a work day for me. I was found guilty for recording when my attorneys went and got that iPad and kept it in secure chain of custody. And later on, it was examined. There's nothing on it. Never been anything on it. But I was found
deleted,
guilty.
nothing. And yet they still.
Nothing.
So they handcuffed you, and then what happened?
Put me in the police car, manhandled me. I mean, they didn't put the lock on the handcuffs. I guess there's some kind of lock that keeps them from damaging your wrist, from being too tight. Some kind of special thing that they do to make it so they don't keep crunching down on you. They didn't do that. So they're crunching down on my wrist. As they're pulling down on my left wrist, I'm caught off balance. My leg goes up. Then they accuse me of kicking a cop. And so, I mean, this has been the most, when the FBI raided me in November 2016, they lined the streets with police and FBI and going, hopefully to intimidate my neighbors, right? Which is what they do. They had my elections manager, when they raided her that day, her daughter stand out on the front porch in her underwear. And you can read in the magazine what that meant to that girl with her past. And the DA knew all this. The DA knew when he arrested my election manager that she'd be spending the day in jail on her birthday. These people are vile. The night I was in jail, my dad died. The DA, Inspector Stewie, calls my family, starts harassing them, my 93-year-old mother and my sisters and my daughter, and all in different states, starts harassing them. This is a witch hunt at the highest degree. And why would Merrick Garland be so interested in what we found on the Dominion voting systems, and a DA that would let a guy off with 26 pounds of fentanyl, and more drug crimes?
Yeah, it is lawfare. And I'm so proud of you. I think that people see this happen to President Trump and they see it to happen to others. And really it intimidates them and it scares them. And that is the tactic, right? Is to scare people into submission, scare them into lying. And I'm just so thrilled and proud of you. And there was a saying in the documentary that I need to ask you about. I thought it was so powerful. You said that the more you lose, the more you gain. What did you mean by that?
You just gave me chills. Sometimes you say things that you have no idea until later what they mean. And I believe that what God calls you to, he'll see you through. And I thought I was serving the public by shortening wait times in motor vehicle. But God had another plan when I raised my hand and said, don't let me leave this earth until I've accomplished all that you sent me here to do. And that's why I want to encourage people that, the Bible says many are called, but few are chosen. And do you know why only few are chosen?
Why?
Because they don't raise their hand. They don't raise their hand. They don't raise their hand. Everybody has a purpose for being on this earth right now. We're getting ready to experience something very, very traumatic. Let me just put it that way. I had Christy Hutcherson on my show. She'll be on Monday. Monday night is going to be Dr. Ely and Judge and some other, I have a show called the Tina Peters Show on Badlands. You can get it on Rumble. And then I'm on Lindell too. But the point of it is there's something really bad getting ready to happen. You've got military-aged men coming across our borders, and all of this stems from the selections. That's why they want to put me in prison. They want to shut me up. They want to get me to back down. And I want people to know this, that you've got to stand up now. There's a reason that you are an Esther, or you are a Mordecai, or you are, a Gideon during this time. There's a reason that you're living during this time, and you've got to stand up. So that's what I mean. The more you lose, if you are going to lose your life, you will gain it. The more you lose in this life by just standing up to tyranny, following God's leading, because this is not a Democrat and Republican issue. This is good versus evil. This is definitely good versus evil. And there's some very evil people that want to do to your children what they did over in Israel just, a short time ago. They're coming across our borders. They're not coming across to assimilate into our society. They're coming to attack your schools. They're in all these soft targets to bring America to their knees. And I'm saying this to scare you, but I'm saying this to prepare you that we've got to get these machines so they are not able to do what they're designed to do. I stand by everything I've said. I believe if you tell the truth, you never have to worry about what you said. And if you've done things that you're ashamed of in your past, just own up to it. Look at Mike Lindell. He was a crack dealer and a gambler, all these things he did. Just own up to it and say, hey, that's the way it was right now, but now I see the light. And pray for my judges. Pray for, because they've been very, very, these are Republican, so-called Republican commissioners, Republican judges, of course, then we have the Democrat, the other ones, Jenna Griswold and stuff, but pray for them that their eyes will be open, that the scales will fall from their eyes. This is a prayer that I prayed for somebody for months. This is years ago. I said, God, what can I do? I can't get through to him. What do I do? This is what he told me. He said, pray that the scales will fall from their eyes so that they can see the truth and be set free. I prayed that for 4 months without any contact with this person. One day this person called me and they said to me, well, you'll be glad to know this and this and this, and they said, the weirdest thing was all of a sudden it was like scales fell from my eyes and I could see the truth. And I said, what what time did this happen? Because I had gone through some travailing that I didn't know what it was. And it was exactly the same time I'd gone through that. But it took me months. I prayed for like 4 months every day that. So pray that for judges. Jack Smith, this stuff has come out about him right now. I mean, know that the truth will find you out. Your past will find you out. So just come clean with it. Join us. Democrats are joining on the Republican Party, but it's not just the Republican Party needs to be cleaned up as well.
Yeah, they do call it the uniparty. So yes. Well, I love what you shared about that. And I know that things can look so bleak and intimidating. I just had a friend tell me today, she's so frustrated when she hears these things because it seems like justice has not been served. And sometimes people want to cover their ears and not hear anymore because it just can be so depressing and defeating. But we at Moms on a Mission have 3 pillars. It's our motto. It's educate, awake, and activate. And listening to this podcast and hearing your story is part of the educational process and waking up. But what would you say to moms and parents and Americans out there who hear your story and they say, what can I do? I'm not a county clerk. And I live in Tulsa, so they could say, I'm just a Tulsan. What can I do to stand up and push back against this tyrannical government we have right now?
That's a good question. You can get involved. If you can't get involved, then support the people that are involved. You can go to my website. I have, as you can imagine, with 3, they're trying to take my house. I have so many. They took my husband. I didn't tell you the day after I was raided by the FBI. That's in the magazine. They came and they took my husband out of a nursing home. I just saw him for the first time in 28 months. He looked like a 90-pound Holocaust victim. So I'm working to rescue him. But the thing of it is support those that are on the front lines. If you can't be on the front line yourself, because not everybody's called to do this, but everybody's called. And so be chosen, and give. I have a Give, Send, Go that helps me with my personal finances. And then I have to help with my the donate at the top of there. It goes to my legal fund. As you can imagine, my legal bills are exorbitant. And so that's, you can give on a monthly basis, you can give on one time, and then you can go to a personal givesendgo.com/Tina Peters. And I think it might be on the front page of there, but of the homepage. If you want to give to me personally, because I am continuing to go out to travel and speak to people to wake them up. I want to wake people up to see that, and that's a Transact card membership. That's a great way to take money away from the big banks and actually get away from Amazon. There's great people like Dr. Ely, Dr. Artis, that if by supporting them. Of course, my favorite is My Pillow.
Oh yes, Mike Lindell. He's so great. We've had him on, and his products are amazing.
Just up a little bit, if you want to do right there, you can support me on my Give, Send, Go for personal. It's oh, did he?
This one. Let's see.
Oh, okay. I'll have to tell Dwayne. He probably doesn't know it goes that way, but it's givesendgo.com/.
I found it last night. I saw that. It's very easy. Just you go to Give, Send, Go, and then just type in Tina Peters. So it's very easy to find.
So Dr. Artis will be happy to accept your
right.
They're going to be, well, Dr. Ely's going to be on my show tonight. I don't know if this is going to air today, but you can watch it after. And with some wonderful, my thing is not just focusing on myself. Mine is waking the people up so they can join the army of patriots that are fighting to preserve our country. If you don't stand up now, their intent. When I say they, I'm talking about the open borders, these people that have been selected and not elected. You asked about the hashtag, and I think I kind of skimmed over that. So let me go back to that. When people put their ballot in, or the people put their ballot into the box, and then the clerks take them, the election people, workers take them, and they put them in the tabulator. So in this case, I mean, it could be ES&S, Hart, InterCivic. It could be any of them. They're all running off the same software. So when that goes in, when that ballot goes in, the equipment takes an image of it, takes a picture of the ballot. And then that is what's read. That's read by the machine. Well, after what report number 3 shows is that sorry, that's my attorney.
Speaking of attorneys.
So let's see. So what happens is it takes a picture of the image. After about 25, we found from the images that I preserved, or the records I preserved, after about 25% of the ballots go in, the images are changed and they're put into a different database, a secret database, if you will, a second database. The first one becomes secret. We know they're a different ballot because they are missing the .sha file, which is a SHA file. We know that so if you change an image, it's no longer has the same identifying characteristics of the original image. And then that is the one that the changed one is the one that is counted. So that's how, so that when I went off on to talking about that commissioner, when I took the second report into her with the 36 wireless devices and all the things you can read on when you look at the report, she says, yeah, but you haven't shown us how anyone has flipped the election. And I told the cyber guys, I said, go look at the April 6, 2021 municipal election. And I said, that's where you're going to find it. So they did. And then they also found that it happened in the 2020 election, the same thing, where these ballot images are changed. And that's why you can't trust ballot images out of a machine. You have to have the voter verified paper ballots. So it's all there. It's all there. We got them.
I have to ask you, do you think that they ever thought that you would have the capability or the courage to do something like this? Do you think they were surprised?
I think they've been doing this for so long that they felt very empowered. But that's where God comes in, because God sees everything. And, he can take a simple person like your audience out there. I wasn't looking to be, the center of attention. When I became clerk, my staff would come to me, they said that the press is outside for whatever, we'd be in an election or whatever. The press is outside. They want to talk to the clerk. I said, wasn't there somebody here that can do that? They said, no, they want to talk to the clerk. And so I remember printing out like what I was going to say or the numbers that I needed to give them or whatever, and then taping it to their tripod when I first started. I didn't, I've never sought to be the center of attention. I've never, or the limelight, anything else like that. Just like Gideon, and Moses actually stuttered.
And David, he was just out killing bears and lions, and they found him and anointed him king. He didn't want to go kill Goliath. That was not even on his radar, I'm sure.
There you go. So that's why I want to encourage people to get out there, let God use you for whatever you've done in your past life has really prepared you for what is. If there's whistleblowers out there that have knowledge, come forward. This is a country that we have to save. We can't fool around anymore. And parents out there, you moms, you mama bears, you're the ones that have been doing all this, lifting these heavy loads. And now we need to encourage our men to start standing up, but protect your children. I'm telling you right now, protect your children. Make sure that there's armed officers at your school. Make sure they're at your churches. You need to do this now. This is coming. I was in an Uber in Roanoke, Virginia. Most people never heard of Roanoke, Virginia. I'm in an Uber, and there's a guy driving the Uber. And so I just start talking with him. He's from another country, a Muslim country. He told me that, he didn't make that much driving an Uber, but he was here because he would be called upon to, at some point, and they're paying him $30,000. He says he doesn't know when it's going to happen, but he's waiting. He's waiting. So I had Christy Hutchinson on my show last night, and she starts showing a map on her PowerPoint. And there it is, Roanoke, Virginia. And guess what? Grand Junction, Colorado, which is where I live. And that was a map from 2019. So moms, protect your children. You don't want to get a phone call that your school is in lockdown. I took my kids out in 3rd and 4th grade and homeschooled them. A lot of parents did that also with COVID. My son went on to be a Navy SEAL, and my daughter, really smart, went to college, first person in our family that went to college. So do something. Pray and ask God what it is that you're supposed to do, but get prepared. Please get prepared. Stand up your city council meetings, stand up in your commissioner hearings, your elections, stand up and say, we want those machines gone. Yeah. And donate.
That's good. Yeah. I like what you're saying is if you can't go to send, and it's kind of like that with missionaries as well. If you can't go on a missions trip, if you can't do that, then fund the folks who can go. And at the very minimum, we could go to these meetings, even if we don't speak, there is power in numbers, and we can go and just be in, support the folks who are speaking and show a sign of solidarity there. But thank you so much for not backing down and standing up to this Goliath and saying, no, I'm not going to bow. I'm not going to quit. I can't thank you enough. I mean, you are truly an American hero. And I just want to say thank you from every American who doesn't even maybe know your story. I'm going to thank you for them, because if they did hear your story, they would say thank you. So thank you, Tina, so much for what you're doing. We so appreciate you.
Can I leave you one thing that President Trump said to me? And it's not the last half of the sentence. It's the first half of the sentence that he said to me. So I was in Mar-a-Lago, and he said, Tina, when this is all over, just remember that part. Don't remember the last part. But the whole sentence was, when this is all over, you're going to be a hero. And then he said, you are a hero. When this is all over, keep the faith, keep doing what you're supposed to. Don't get discouraged if you don't see things happening as fast as you think they should. There are things happening behind the scenes, but don't sit back and think somebody else is going to save you. Get involved in your community. Get your community together, so your neighbors, what you're going to do in an emergency, how you're going to protect yourself, get food, water, all those things. Get ready. Okay. Prepare. I love you guys. Thank you.
Oh, we love you, Tina. And how can folks follow you on social media? You're on all the platforms?
I am. And I'm on Twitter at Real Tina Peters. I speak out a lot on Twitter and Telegram. I think I just got banned on Telegram. I have no idea for what for. Truth. If you'll go on Rumble, like my videos, the Tina Peters Show, and on Lindell too. I would be most grateful, so that more and more people can hear what's going on. But on my website, it has my links to my socials as well.
And that's tinapeters.us. So let's go there today. Donate. At the very minimum, we can pray, and we can absolutely follow her on all those platforms. And if you don't have Rumble, go to Rumble and download the app and follow the Tina Peters Show. So thank you, Tina, so much. What a blessing you are. And we will continue to pray for you and follow you to know what's going on with your legal battles too.
Thank you so much. God bless you.
God bless you. And thank you all so much for listening. If you have any questions or comments, we'd love to hear from you. You can email us at moms@momsonamission.net. And then our website is momsonamission.net. And we would love for you to follow us as well. If you download that Rumble app, I know a lot of people still might not know about Rumble, but if you download the app, it truly is the most uncensored place we can upload our content to. We're not going to get banned like on YouTube and these other platforms. So download the app and type in the Tina Peters Show, Moms on a Mission podcast, and click the follow button. And then like and share all the episodes as well, so we can spread the truth. And we thank you so much for listening, and God bless you. In light of recent bank volatility and skyrocketing inflation, diversification is a must. That's why I use my good friend Andrew Sorcini at Beverly Hills Precious Metals. Beverly Hills Precious Metals makes it so easy to diversify. I personally ordered some silver and it arrived on my doorstep just a few days later. They make it so easy. And if you're not ready to do that and you just want to ask a few questions, they're there for you too. I personally got some silver and also am rolling over some of my IRA. You can actually roll over your IRA and have it be backed by silver and gold. So if you don't have any extra money to invest in silver and gold, rolling over a 401k or an IRA, or even part of it, if you just want to try it at first, just for a little bit, you can do that as well. So go to bh-pm.com today and ask all your questions. You can connect with somebody. And like I said, you can just get some information at first if you want and pray about it, and then get back with them to roll over part of your IRA or all of it, or order some gold and silver. That's bh-pm.com. and tell them that Moms on a Mission sent you. Hey, everybody. Did you know that recent research from the CDC says that millions of Americans develop parasitic infections and symptoms often go unnoticed or are misdiagnosed? Parasites are actually the cause of many health problems such as anxiety, depression, chronic pain, fatigue, and unexplained digestive issues. We all need a common sense strategy to improve our health. Moms on a Mission encourages you to reach out to our good friend, Dr. Jason Dean. Dr. Dean's Full Moon Protocol provides all natural detoxification and fights inflammation. And the supplements are made with 100% organic ingredients and are proven to kill parasites safely and effectively. I know after I took Full Moon Protocol, I had more energy. To order your Full Moon Protocol today, go to bravetv.store/mission to save $20 off your first order. That's bravetv.store/mission. According to leading sleep experts and sleephealth.org, over 50 million Americans struggle getting a good night's rest. That's why Moms on a Mission loves MyPillow. MyPillow makes amazing pillows, sheets, mattress toppers, robes, towels, literally almost everything you need for a good night's sleep. They also make dog beds for your dogs. So by going to mypillow.com, typing in the code MISSION, you not only receive a high quality product, but you're supporting Moms on a Mission and this podcast. If you like what you're hearing and you agree with it, you believe in it, and you want to support Moms on a Mission, then go to mypillow.com today and order some high quality products and just type in the code MISSION at checkout and you can save up to 66% off. That's mypillow.com, code MISSION.
Since 2014, Organic Body Essentials has offered clean, simple, certified organic skincare. Our organic face-to-feet and federally compliant hemp and pet products are manufactured under USDA and FDA guidelines. Our products are inspired by God using plants He created. In Ezekiel 47:12, it says, "The fruit is for food and the leaves for healing." We believe in the power of God to heal, so we pray over our products and for our customers. Our therapy in a bottle approach has been widely received, and our customers' testimonials continue to inspire us. You can find us at organicbodyessentials.com and obe.organicbodyessentials.com. Please feel welcome to reach out with questions. Use coupon code MISSION at checkout for a discount. Thank you for your support by using MISSION at checkout to benefit Moms on a Mission and their quest to reestablish traditional values in our education system and empowerment for a healthy lifestyle.